Spencer Davies, Cavs Insider. How did things change for you and the team when DG is able to get downhill the way he did tonight?
It just creates more open looks. Makes the game easier for everybody. That's who he is. And we've missed that throughout the first few games, and it's good to see him getting back to it, and for creating shots for not just myself, but for Evan, Jay, the bigs. He makes my life a hell of a lot easier, that's for sure. So, I think the biggest thing now is just continuing to build on that momentum. He was a plus 15 tonight, did a lot of positive things, and now he's got to continue to build on it.
The bigs were just terrific all night on the glass. Really had that will to win. With Jarrett and Evan, patrolling the paint like that, again, you guys haven't had that either. So how does that kind of propel you guys forward in the season?
It's just that's who we are. Like I said this, I forgot, I think it was after Indiana. Like, at the end of the day, we haven't played, as a group since, well, really at all. You know what I'm saying? With when you add Max and George to what we've and T-Time Tristan as well. So now that we're starting to figure it out and kind of playing together, this is what it's going to look like. And you saw it in the second half against Indiana tonight. But the biggest thing is now is we just can't be like, okay, we found it. We got to continue to build upon it, do things better. But at the end of the day, we had 18 turnovers, and me and DJ accounted for 10 of them. Evan had 5. So now we got to clean that up. I think that's the biggest thing. Just finding ways to continue to build on that. And defensively, we know who we're going to be. We've been that way and since before I got here. And now just offensively continue to get acclimated and continue to do a lot of positive things.
You kind of mentioned that you guys have been looking for that knockout blow when you have had the lead. And those are situations when Karras gets the steal, the momentum shifts. Is that something that you guys can kind of build off of when you're talking about closing games? Yeah,
you look at this exact time last year. We went to their place, had the same situation, and then we gave up the lead. So that's growth in itself, not just from a team standpoint, but individually. Doing different things and growing. And we got to see them again in a week, so it's gonna be another test on the road. We got a tough team in OKC. Can we continue to build leads, continue to win games in these rough environments? And these early tests, like I've been saying since the first game of the season, are going to help us come down the line. This is what we're going to see. And now that we're learning these lessons through losses and through wins, but we'll continue to learn these things and get better as the year goes on.
Brian, this is the big journal. JB mentioned that Strus can bring a element of movement to the lineup. I know it's a very small sample size, but what have you seen in terms of just what he's added?
You got to keep an eye on him. I think that's the biggest thing offensively. Like he's always constant. Even when he's he went 3 of 10 from the free throw line, or 3-point line, but he's still a threat. You still got to look at him, and that creates driving lanes for myself, for Darius, creates the pocket for Evan if they want to help. Now he's there for the spray out. So I think that's the biggest thing now, is just continue to find that, and that's what we missed last year, and now that we have it with him and George as well, and makes a lot of guys' lives easier. You know what I mean? In different scenarios, you've got to pick which one you want to take away.
Ethan Sands, Cleveland.com. How do you feel that you and Darius' game kind of complement each other?
I felt that way all along. I think, we're starting to continue to build. We have a full summer together, full training camp, full season. You're starting to understand where we fit in. And at the end of the day, every night's not going to be 31-7 and 24-7, but it's going to be ways to complement each other, make the game easier, not just for ourselves, but for everybody. Big thing about DG, the shot wasn't necessarily falling, but he got to the line 12 to 13 times. That's huge. Continue to put that pressure on them. Like I said, he's always going to, be big on assists. That's what he does. But I think for us to continue to build together, using each other in different actions, like the way we ended the I want to say it was the second quarter, the little two-man game where I slip out, different things like that, being able to put us on the same side. You got to pick which one you want to rotate to, thinking the game in that way. After over time, you start to build that, and that's what we're seeing, but we got to continue to get better at it.
You said that Jarrett's kind of like your guys' security blanket, especially for Evan Mobley down in the paint, so he can play his game as well. How much did you guys miss having Jarrett, and how much is it good having him back?
We gave him a big hug when we were in Indiana. He's just, he's that guy. He's willing to do a lot of things that, don't always show up. It's just his presence, just being there, deters shots, getting rebounds, making plays in the pocket. He had a beautiful left-handed pass to Max for a 3 on the wing. Things like that, being able to be a presence, down there. It helps Evan, makes it it grows, helps Evan game grow. You know, you're seeing like 13 and 16 a night playing really well. You know, I think it kind of gives Evan a break of having to play the 5 the entire time, allows him to kind of be more forceful that you saw tonight. But like I said, J.A. is one of the, you know, most underrated bigs in the league. It's not talked about enough. You know, he does a lot for us, and you see it. You know, you see it when he comes back to what we can do and what we can be and what we are defensively.
Jackson Flickinger, right down Euclid. Over the last week, there seems to be an emphasis with you of getting Evan involved. What is it about your two-man game with him that's so important?
Well, I wasn't too good at it last year. I feel like I wasn't. You know, I've never really played with a big. You know, and this is nothing against the bigs I play with. Never played with a big like Evan. You know, there's not too many bigs like Evan in this league. So trying to get accustomed to a guy that, quite frankly, I could throw. You know, I almost rolled the ball to him. He's still find a way to make a play, find a way to set a screen. He's attacking downhill. You know, different things, finding him in the pocket, throwing the lobs, and just continue to build. So I got to get better at that. You know, and I think that's something that I've, pride myself on as far as trying to find ways to make us better as a tandem, because, I watch a lot of film with him and Darius and how they do a phenomenal job at it. I don't try to do it in the same way, but kind of do it in my own different way. And, if they got to choose who to put, the bigger guy on, if they're going to put on Ev or J.A. And so now a lot of times to start the year, it was Ev. So we continuously grew together, and that's what it's, that's what it's going to be. But, I can definitely be better at it, but I think for me, putting a lot of emphasis on that, because I know how J.A. and I work, we work pretty well. So now trying to get better with Evan, and create, advantages.
So this is the second game with this, the full starting lineup. Is there really an idea that this is the group that's going to take you to the next level with adding Strus?
Yeah, that's why we did it. I think for us, it's only been, six games, but, you can feel the difference in the last two. Even though we lost Indiana, and like I said, it's nothing to overreact to. You know what I mean? Like there's things that we can continue to get better. And like I said, we played a really good game, and we can be better. Like I said, we had a lot of turnovers tonight, a lot of unforced turnovers. I think the biggest thing now is just continuing to build. Just because we got everybody back doesn't mean that I think it's just gonna just fall into place. We got to continue to put that work in on a daily basis and practice in the games and go out there and do it. And we did it tonight. And we got a tough test on the road coming up, and we got to be ready to do it.
Okay.